one of the reasons that President Trump threatened to veto is because of something not in the bill.
Yeah.
And I'll read his tweet today. I'm threatening a veto of the omnibus spending bill based on the fact that the 800,000 plus DACA recipients have been totally abandoned by the Democrats, not even mentioned in the bill, and the border wall, which is desperately needed for our national defense, is not fully funded. The DACA program is something that...
I might disagree with his characterization a little bit.
Well, why wasn't DACA in there?
Well, it seems like it was the president that abandoned the Dreamers when he terminated the program last year. He owns that. We worked hard to try and restore that. I think there was, matter of fact, I talked with our leader several times over the last week. You know, what are we doing to try and make sure that that program gets restored, at least in part? The wall was a huge stumbling block. The whole discussion has spiraled out of control and trying to put visa stuff in it and this and that. Clean Dreamers, Act is what we really need. We're not able to get that in there without some huge wall that was a definite poison pill as far as my Latino community felt. And so what we did do, frankly, good news is no more ICE agents, no increase in ICE agents, which was a big deal. No increase in detention beds, that in the substandard conditions that these poor people live in. And actually this little bit of funding, $1.6 billion, no $25 billion funding for a fence. And it actually does say not a wall. It's actually about a fence, some border security, technology, that sort of thing. So if the president wasn't willing to play ball with us, we certainly weren't going to play ball with him. And the good news for those folks is that we're limiting ICE's involvement and protecting these poor people once they get to this country.
You invited a DACA recipient from Monmouth to be your guest at the President's State of the Union earlier this year. Juan Navarro is one of more than 11,000 recipients of DACA in Oregon. And on March 5th, that was supposed to be the end of DACA, but the Supreme Court delayed that for at least a year. But a lot of DACA recipients and their families still live in fear that they're going to be deported. So what's the way forward now that it didn't get into this bill? Do you think there'll be a separate bill?
I think that's what will happen. There'll have to be a separate bill. I just came from an ag group here in Oregon this morning. We were talking there. Well, Kurt, why can't we do something on immigration? It's a big deal. My high-tech companies tell me, Kurt, it's a big deal. Unfortunately, there's other parts of the country do not see it that way.
And a lot of people in your district feel like illegal immigration is taking jobs away from Americans.
I don't know if there's a lot in my district. There's some vocal ones in my district. I think the farmers, the business community, labor, faith-based groups, most people in my community and frankly in my state, I think are on board. It's the other states where these congressmen run afraid from those people that say just what you just said, because it's patently not true here. And we need to get that fix in. We need to make sure we put some certainty. The courts, unfortunately, by granting them the stay, if you will, saying that the president doesn't have the authority, the lower court said president doesn't have the authority to terminate the program, or terminate the program. And they say let it go through the rest of the court system. Well, that just keeps these poor people in limbo until the final say. And I don't think any DACA recipient, their families, their friends want that to be the legal limbo these poor people hang into for the next, I don't know how many months.